full of wonder, without war, hate, and enemy. Now you can sense rolling thunder and the magic that's no longer free. In the night I feel them calling from far beyond the sea. Soon comes the time of destruction, when the war began to rise. Weapons with multiple functions. There's no place where you can stay alright. In the night I hear them coming, marching toward the world cities. And soon the bombs are falling, but still we hope for peace. Not was a time full of wonder, before war began to rise. Was a time full of wonder, without war, hate, and enemy. Now you can sense rolling thunder and the magic that's no longer free. In the night I feel them calling plans with multiple functions. There's a place where you can stay alright. In the night I hear them coming, marching towards our cities. And soon the bombs are falling, but still we hope for peace, not war. And now I see them coming, marching towards us and gates. As the bombs are falling, but still we cry for peace, cry for peace, not war. Once was a time full of wonder, before war began to